All right, we're going to get back into it, and we're going to start with the Div 2 Grand Final between Baraboo on the red and Elkhorn on the blue side. Going to start on Lijiang Tower for your King of the Hill map.
This should be a good one.
What both
use
teams
this
bring.
one in the Division 3 state finals as well. This should be a good matchup here between these two schools. How do you think this is going to play out based on the composition of teams and how their strategies work?
Sorry, one more time.
See what their strategy, how it's going to play out based on their strategies, their team composition, how they maneuver around.
Yeah, and is that a both dive composition that I see? This should be interesting. Both teams looking to just dive onto that point as fast as possible, maintain control of it, and just absolutely pile on top of a single target. The D.Va is actually going to be swapped out, though, so maybe a little bit more of the hybrid one that we've been seeing so far. Still keeping the Winston, though, on the Elkhorn side.
All right, this should work out. We are underway with the Division 2 state finals between Baraboo and Elkhorn. Can we get some hype in here, guys? There we go. Look alive.
All right, and a lot of damage coming into Elkhorn immediately, but same right back to Baraboo. And that is 2 picks right off the bat. The Winston, the Doomfist coming in huge for Elkhorn. They're going to see if they can continue to press this advantage. They return. May gets one in return, but then the Reinhardt comes through. May has to retreat to her Ice Cube, but she's not going to make it out of there, and she gets smacked into the corner. That should be an easy first cap for Elkhorn, and they're going to take early control of this game.
Yeah, they are going to get that first one, and they're going to have to reset their attacker Baraboo to try to push into that center area. The first attack really did not work out. What went wrong there?
I think just those 2 early picks. Doomfist can be so brutal if he happens to catch you off guard with a punch, and then as soon as you're a man down, it's so hard to recover from that. And Elkhorn just pressed that advantage until they got it.
Yeah, that works out. They're trying to push into the second attack, get that contest in. Right there's a quick start on theirs, and they're not really going to get too much out of it. And there's one going in to stop, to try to make the test, but it still goes up, and that's not going to help them out too much. They're going to take a couple down. Ooh.
Winston jumps off the cliff of his own accord, and we will see the contest coming through. We do have Blizzard, which is going to be popped. That's the entire point, just frozen. So much damage, they can't do anything about it. The Immortality Field keeping them briefly alive, but it won't last forever. And they will be slowly taken out from by the side of Baraboo. Reinhardt doing everything he can. He's got so much healing on him. Still alive, still trucking. He does have Earth Shatter. He could turn this around, but he gets picked off. 4 kills coming in from Elkhorn, and they should actually be able to turn it. Wow, the resilience from the Reinhardt.
Tried to do everything that they could, but they just could not get it to work out. And now they could be in a tough situation here where it could be 80–90%, maybe even more than that by the time they get there.
And we do have Nano Boost available. No ultimates really to use it yet, except maybe a Gravitic Flux doesn't really affect it. But we could see potentially a Nano Boost in McCree or May hop in there on the point. 3 ultimates that the Elkhorn has to deal with it, though.
And they gotta deal with all those ultimates, trying to take them out. It's not working out for them. Trying to contest that point there, but it is still ticking out for them. Gotta get this to work. One's gonna fall now. They finally bring it in. They're gonna have to go to overtime. It's another 99-0. Gotta get this to work now. If they can't get it, it's gonna be a quick victory for Elkhorn in match number 1.
Yeah, they seem to have it. They have the numbers advantage. They're just trying to close it out, take all those stragglers, get that pesky Hammond out of there, rolling around. They're going to get it. The Reinhardt's going to send a fire strike through him, and that should be the point and the initial map stage for Elkhorn.
That's going to be it for Elkhorn, and they are going to take the first round. They're up 1-0.
Score 1-0.
We get the center cylindrical point on Lijiang. We'll see if the comps change up at all. We do have a jump red coming in from Baraboo's side. Still electing to stick with the Doomfist on Elkhorn. Both viable close range comps, just slightly different. We'll see which one pays off.
And we're going to have to see how that works out for them and see if they can get something to work out to try to push that forward and give Baraboo an opportunity to try to take this objective right away and maybe tie this series, tie the map up and go to a decisive map 3. They're going to have a different objective, maybe a different different objectives that they're trying to get is going to help them out.
We do have electing to go for the Mercy on the side of Elkhorn with the Moira on the side of Baraboo. We'll see which healer can offer more utility in the fight, both doing the same job, just in different ways. There are quite a few tanks and damage going the way of Baraboo. They should have an early kill, but the Reaper flying shotguns the tank out of the sky. Baraboo should be able to fully take it though. Close out that initial cap on the point, and they have early.
Yeah, they turned around what didn't work for them in round 1, and now it's working for. Now they're changing their strategy to make it work in round 2, and they're going to be able to take initiative and swing the momentum into their favor.
Absolutely. Baraboo needed this early start, already down that one map stage. This one, first one. They need this, and they're taking early controls. A good first step to achieving that. We do have Valkyrie and Coalescence, both defensive ults coming up for the defense. Picks being exchanged. Again, Mercy's going to res the Reapers.
Yeah, I think that was a team kill right there. That's not something you want to see right there. Elkhorn getting a team kill.
Definitely not. Baraboo's slowly picking their way through the Elkhorn team. Coalescence is actually just going to be a pop to drive that Reinhardt even further back, stagger the team a little bit more, and just prevent them from respawning at the same time.
And they're making that respawn the second time, and now because they made that mistake with the team kill, they're gonna have to reset their defense, which is gonna give Baraboo more time to tick up on that control and move that up. Maybe it's in the 70s or 80s.
Just relentless staggering coming in with the double Junkrat Riptire. You hate to see it, they just can't possibly mount any offensive back. They do have the Earth Shatter there, they have the Amplification Matrix, they have Primal Rage with the Winston. Almost got 2 other ults up. They should have everything at their disposal to try and take this point back. There's the Earth Shatter, gonna get a nice double on that. Should be able to take them both out. Forbidden Flux being used, ults being exchanged on both sides. Valkyrie is popped, Doomfist has yet to pop his. Just does.
They got the stud tearing into the death. Lose it up quite quickly, and they're going to try to get this back. They can't get it now with 1 left. Now it's contested again, and now it's going to be back. It's going to be 95% for Baraboo by the time that Elkhorn gets.
And you'll notice they waited to kill that Sigma right there. They had him dead to rights, the entire team surrounding him, but by waiting, they delay his respawn, and they make it so that Baraboo isn't able to come in together as a full team, and that will delay them and give Elkhorn even more time on the point.
Yeah, that delay really helps them to make that work out for them, as now they're going to have to try to make something work here. Here in the attack, attacking at Elkhorn is taking a lot of damage.
Shut down on the Coalescing Moira there. Says no thank you, charges into the wall. This should be Baraboo charging onto the point now. Valkyrie has been popped in defense. No one's dying just yet, except the Reaper manages to get picked off. Sigma coming in with the kill on the Mercy, and this might just be Baraboo taking the point back from Elkhorn. Primal Range is going to be popped to try and delay that, knocking them back away. Not looking to necessarily kill them, just trying to buy time for his team to get here and keep that contest.
Trying to keep it a contested until his team can get back, but he's only got so long before he can do so, and they're gonna actually turn it the opposite way, and they've taken a fight that they seemingly have lost and made it to a win for them.
Absolutely, excellent work from the Winston, just biding his time, using his ult to effectively zone them back off the point. But now there are a couple ups. There's Riptire, there is Gravitic Flux, and on the other side we have a couple of support ultimates with the Valkyrie and the Amplification Matrix. We'll see which one will win out. Right now Baraboo has the advantage in terms of offensive ults, but we'll see if they're able to get through the defensive ones provided by Elkhorn.
We're gonna see if they, yeah, we're gonna see if that actually works out for them. They're gonna try to push in onto the point. Since they're going to be probably going into an overtime, it is contested. It will be an overtime, and this will be the team fight that decides. This could decide the whole map, or maybe even force a game 3, depending on who can win this team fight. Baraboo, it looks like Elkhorn is going to have the advantage. Still contested. Let's say Baraboo's got 3 in there. Can they knock him out? Top still trying to put together. There's some damage. 4 on 2. Now it's 4 on 1. Time's ticking out. He's got to get back in. And he cannot. Elkhorn takes map 1. They're up 1-0.
And in a fight that they had no business winning. They were almost dead to rights, and they managed to turn yet another fight on the control point. Let's see this Doomfist play the game.
Meteor strike.
Cheeky meteor strike over the back of the barrier. Punches McCree into a wall. He's easy like, punches Mara in the air, sits her down, and that's the point.
Sit them down right there. The eliminations really bringing it out. And now it's going to be moving on to the hybrid part of the match. And right now it is 1-0 in favor of Elkhorn.
And it looks like it will be Blizzard World. Another map we have yet to see make an appearance. See how it manages to play out for both teams. Looks like Elkhorn is going to elect to go on the attack first, thinking they can plow through the defense of Baraboo and set multiple control points to their name. Oh, it'll actually be Hollywood instead as the map. Yet another one we haven't seen, but still also a hybrid map. Have to take control of that first point, and then it unlocks the payload, which they will then push to the end of the stage. Whoever gets it farthest will win this map.
Initiating match.
All right, both teams are going to be switching colors. So Baraboo is going to be in the blue for this second matchup, and Elkhorn will be in the red. And so we are switching sides. This should be a good matchup between our Division II finalists, Baraboo and Elkhorn. How would you set up this match if you were playing for a strategy here in Hollywood?
I'm honestly not sure. There could be a number of things that you could do. I would probably try and run a Pharah. Oh yeah, there you go, Elkhorn running the Pharah on defense. That way you can get that aerial advantage over that initial choke point, because you can actually get up above that, get a lot of spam in there. It looks like Baraboo is going to try and ignore the Pharah. Not really any long-range heroes they have that could deal with her, so they're just going to try and rush the point and just brute force it.
Let's see what strategy works out there. Elkhorn's Pharah is going to work out for them, or if Baraboo is going to actually be able to get that rush correctly, hold on and knock out the Pharah, and then push right in and get that first objective, and then start moving on the payload.
And let's see how it's going to shake out here. We're almost ready. We do have a Winston on the attack side, so we are a little bit more of that dive composition. They're going to try and rush through this initial choke point here, get right on top of the point, take the fight to them. Both barriers being deployed, barriers being depleted, trying to get through here.
Yeah, they're going to do so, try to get something going. They're already contesting the site, trying to rush in. They got one knocked out.
Reinhardt coming
The Elkhorn side, and getting another.
And it looks like back and forth. It should be Baraboo just barely edging out. They don't have anything to really deal with this Pharah, but they might not need to. Just enough spam going her way. Can't survive that, only 200 HP on the Pharah, and they should be able to take a clean first point. I don't believe they should be able to respawn and contest in time.
That's going to be the first point there, right there for Elkhorn as they take that away. Remember, on the screen, the logos are on the team. The logos are swapped for this one. The team is swapped sides, so Baraboo is in the blue and Elkhorn is in the red. And they're still going. They got 2 ticks, but they don't have full control yet. That's going to be difficult to do as they knock it off. Make the knockout work, and Baraboo is hanging on the defensive end, but Elkhorn is going to get it, and they're going to start on the payload.
Yes, they are. They don't get it on that first push, they say, all right, bet, and then just come back stronger than ever, take that point, grab that payload. And now we're without ultimates on both teams, but some are fairly close. This Hammond is just getting absolutely bullied. He's going to manage to make it out with the help of his Mercy, though, rolling away to safety.
Right, he's going to need the help there. He wants to stay alive, but that did not work out for him at all.
That's the problem with Doom, because Meteor Strike, it is very predictable where you're going to come down, and you can just immediately be comboed like that. And down with the Tracer, with a Pulse Bomb available, we'll see if it can do anything. For Baraboo. Death Blossom's coming out from the Elkhorn side. Gravitic Flux, kills being exchanged back and forth. Elkhorn does have the advantage, it's just a Hammond left. Tracer's respawning, can't do anything. They will be able to contest on the side of Baraboo before this reaches the second point, but it does chug slowly on in favor of Elkhorn.
Able to contest that, see if they can get it to work this time. Retreat back and use a different angle to try to knock him out.
You can see Hammer just being a general nuisance.
But cannot get a kill out of that. Continuing to move the payload towards objective number 2 for Elkhorn and get that beast beta site and score that second point.
Interesting ult placement by Hammond there, not really doing anything, probably just misclick on his part. Either way, he's got to get back with his team. They're going to regroup. Looks like they have swapped to a Soldier 76 on the side of Baraboo. See if that can help put up more of a defense against him. This Winston on the side of Elkhorn is just absolutely eviscerating the defense right now. Tickling the WIHSEA with the lightning, but the rest of his team will come help him out. Winston will go into that Primal Rage, see if he can make anything happen with that. Not quite, but Baraboo is turning it around slightly. Several kills going their way, and just delaying this overall push from Elkhorn.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how this is going to be able to go right now as they're continuing to move that in. They got that second position. Now they just got to figure out a way how to stop them if you are Baraboo, because Baraboo has not been able to do much on the defensive half. Jefferson is slowly moving, but Elkhorn slowly moving, but they are continuing to move consistently and methodically. And if they can continue to do that, they'll at least be able to finish it in a pretty decent time.
And we do see the Dragon Strike available for Hanzo. Again, that ult charges so quickly, you can just have that available constantly. We'll see if he's able to use it, but he does get Earth Shatter, and he's going to get taken out immediately, not even a chance. Beautiful Earth Shatter from the side of Baraboo. And let's see if they can mop up off that. There are quite a few return kills coming in from Elkhorn.
And they're going to continue to move it in. They are within meters of getting that in. That spawn is not going to be very long for them to get it, and they're going to finish them off. Elkhorn is going to push this into the end. They are about 10 feet away from getting it in, and now they are going to get it in. They got the 3 points. Elkhorn gets all 3 in the first half.
Strong response against Elkhorn, who again did win that first map, so that's exactly what you want if you're Baraboo. Get off to an early lead, get all 3 of those points on your offensive side.
Elkhorn got those 3
Takes a
points.
lot of...
They're swapped.
Elkhorn, yeah, sorry. Elkhorn get all those points, so yeah, that actually just solidifies their lead even more. You gotta be feeling the pressure if you're Baraboo.
Yeah, you gotta get that pressure to be able to push that in. Baraboo needs this pressure. They do not want to go down 2-0.
Absolutely not.
As the teams are about to get ready to assemble their hero set, as we are switching around the logos, so there is no confusion here on the caster's desk, or for any of the fans here at Madison College, or for those you watching remotely on Twitch.
Baraboo is electing to run with a Sombra on their offensive attack, maybe to try and help break through that initial archway on the Hollywood. We'll see if they're able to get anything done. EMP can be pretty devastating combo, but they're going to elect to swap off to the Mei, actually. A little bit more AoE utility, a little bit more just raw damage coming out, and a little bit of CC to go with it.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial to see how they elect to use this. They can elect to use this correctly, and they can do it perfectly. Maybe Baraboo can move a little bit forward to try to get it. If they cannot, then there's going to be a lot of trouble, and Elkhorn is going to have a huge advantage, especially with that limited amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. You just do not want to go down 2-0, so there's definitely a ton of pressure on these Baraboo players. We'll see if they're able to overcome it. Charging straight up to the choke point. Not going to let anything stand in their way, showing no fear in the face of courage. Face of resolve. There's going to be a Reaper on Reaper kill there. Little teleporting back up behind him. We'll see if he can come up, but the Doomfist is ready for it. Intercepts and still can't quite get the kill. Reaper comes out on top. Now he's in the back line, shredding through their Mercy. See if he can secure that kill as well. But the Reinhardt, excellent awareness, turns around and pins in. Great awareness from Elkhorn to try and stave off that push coming through the Baraboo Reaper.
As the awareness you need, especially when you are trailing, and they are making that work out for them as they're going to get this first tick. They're probably gonna get the second tick and maybe all three.
And that's what you need if you're Baraboo. There is a Winston coming in to contest.
At least two.
And Doomfist comes flying through the building. Looks like they're going to have to fight for it even more. Immortality Field keeping Elkhorn's Doomfist alive. Can't quite survive. Let's see if Baraboo's able to fight for this control point that they've worked so hard to gain advantage on. He's going to be able to freeze the Reinhardt. Rez is coming through and an Earth Shatter. Oh, that's such a good ultimate by Baraboo's Reinhardt. Sweet Scott coming in, saving the point for them, and just securing that capture as soon as they deal with this annoying Winston.
Yeah, they're trying to secure that finish it off, and so close to securing that objective. And now they have got it, and they've got their first point, and they got a little under 5 minutes to move this payload.
They had to pop a few ultimates to get it done, but they have it. They have the first objective, and that is step one. On to the second point, this time pushing the payload to get it done. Neither team, Baraboo does have 2 ultimates, actually. It must have just gotten them, but Elkhorn does not. We'll see if they're able to press that advantage. Blizzard against such a huge AoE ult can absolutely devastate a team.
Yeah, but right now Elkhorn could have 3 ultimates coming up very soon, which might actually turn the event in their favor if this is not a quick team fight. And they have stunned, they have pinned, and they have absolutely pinned in the Baraboo attack, and it is stuck.
And you said they had ults coming up. Well, they came up, they were used, and they were successful, absolutely wiping that push from Baraboo, and even staggering even further. The Doomfist causing even more mayhem in the back. Let's see if he's going to be able to get out of there. He's being CC'd a little bit, but it looks like he should be free. And absolutely wonderful defense coming in from the side of Elkhorn.
Yeah, they got that free, and now they're going to be trying to knock him out and try to move this a little bit more forward. But first they got to get past this defense, who is right now in front of the payload.
So much fighting constantly, and just delaying the respawns of the attacking team. Beautiful pin. They can't quite get the kill, put that hammer down. Just put him on the ground. Nothing really happening afterwards, though. No one to follow up on that Earth Shadow, and it's just the offense being staggered, just pressed into this control for this choke point.
Pressed into that choke point right there that Elkhorn has created. And they are just shredding right through it. They're putting down damage, more damage, and even more damage.
Exactly.
But
if there's any time for Baraboo to get a push done, it is now. They have 3 ults, 4 ults now available. The Supercharger is currently active. This is their moment. This is their opportunity. There are 3 ults on the Elkhorn side, but they do outnumber them from Baraboo, including Blizzard and Death Blossom. Such a brutal combo. Blizzard has been popped. Let's see if we can see the Death Blossom playing pop from both sides. Several kills coming through. Reaper screaming died. Everyone actually dying. Mercy going for the res. She will get it off. There's a Reinhardt full HP back in the fight. He's going to charge. He's going to manage to take out that annoying Reaper. Death Blossom, the entire team, bit of revenge there, but it will be Baraboo coming ahead on the push, and they secure potentially the second point. No, there's going to be a contest coming through.
And they're going to at least get it close. But they're might have to get one more team right to get it past. It's going to be very close, depending on if they can get it or not. And they will be able to get the second point, and we'll have about 3 minutes to get to the third one. They will be at a huge disadvantage in overtime. Oh, my goodness.
What amazing heads-up play from that Reinhardt to hit that pin against the Mercy. Immediately 180 Earth Shatter and just give Baraboo a little bit more breathing room. Get this payload a little bit closer to the end, set up for their final team fight. See if they're managed to pull it off. They do have a couple ults coming up. Not the greatest percentage, and there are 2 available for Elkhorn. We'll see if they're able to utilize that to its fullest.
They do have it around that final corner, and they are about 25 meters out from the final goal, and they're trying to push it forward. Or they got one baited in. They're going to absolutely break him apart for reinhardt for coming in behind the enemy lines, and that's not a good play there from Elkhorn. Elkhorn, see if they can turn this around. Now, especially with the defense respawn advantage that they have.
And it does look like that advantage is paying off. Elkhorn will manage to stave off the push from Baraboo. A couple ults being exchanged, but overall not too expensive of a battle. Both teams will reset, and now we're going to actually get the fight that we're waiting for. We have 4 ultimate abilities available on Baraboo's side. Earth Shatter should be coming up. And there are 2 on Elkhorn. Half as many ultimates. Let's see if they can pull it off. Mortality be feeling be pop, but it's not even enough to save the Batiste. Gets charged by the Reinhardt. This should be Baraboo's advantage.
It's gonna be a big advantage for Baraboo. They got 3 more coming out, and they have got a big push coming in. And the problem is they gotta make that push quickly because the defense respawns real quick, and now they're moving again. And they're getting closer.
Supercharger being charged, giving a little bit of extra damage. They do still have the sound barrier for it goes through, such as an Earth Shatter. Nothing really going to be done. Sound barrier pop just for the extra safety, a little bit of shield, extra health for them. Primal Rage, got to deal with that annoying Winston punching people around. And it's going to be a brutal battle on the last point. Ults being popped left and right. People dying. Baraboo taking out Elkhorn. There's one in return on the Riptire. Beautiful fire strike from the Reinhardt, but it might not be enough.
Yeah, it might not be enough. They're less than 10 meters out. They're whipping distance of finishing this off. But they're not going to have a lot of time in overtime, which is going to be a big advantage for Elkhorn.
Mercy does get the res available on the Winston. Does not have Primal Rage, which is unfortunate, but the defender respawn advantage is beginning to show through, and it looks like Baraboo wasn't quick enough to capitalize on the advantage they got. The reinforcements are coming in, the cavalry's here, pardon the lack of Tracer, and Elkhorn will be able to stave off that push. They were so close on Baraboo, but couldn't quite go all the way on it.
So close, just could not get it and finish it off, and it's not gonna look good. Elkhorn, they got one last chance, so they gotta get it going quickly. They need to contest it.
Yeah, only 10 seconds remaining. This will be the final fight. They have 2 ultimates to work with, 2 more coming up. Here comes the Junkrat. Riptire trying to open things up. Do have a Reinhardt pick on the opposite side. Nothing opening up. He does get the Reinhardt, though, behind the shield. Mercy reses the May. This might be Baraboo's push. Let's see if they have the ability to do anything with it. People are alive. Valkyrie's pop. Batiste ult is going through. Superchargers are going down. There's a lot of damage amplification. Doofus is coming down from the heavens. Baraboo slowly trading back and forth. Blizzard is being popped as well. This might be enough for them. May is being frozen. Batiste, rather, and they might be able to secure it.
And they will get it. And Baraboo hangs on, and we will be going to overtime, but they will only have 1 minute on their overtime run, and they are at a huge disadvantage here in overtime.
They are, but at least they managed to go all the way. That has got to feel good if you're Baraboo. It's always intimidating to go against that 3-point defense as soon as they've already secured it. A lot of pressure on you, especially with them being on match point already. Let's see if they're able to pull it off with their limited time available in overtime.
About to see if they'll be able to get that they're about to pick their picks, and we are about 5 seconds out from our overtime matchup here in round number 2.
Ready for battle. I'm taking care of you.
And
are we going to see the Sombra this time, or will we be teased again?
21 seconds to move the payload as pretty much as far as they can.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
For Baraboo, you need a really good defense. If you can keep it
As usual.
pretty tight, I would be probably moving up pretty far and
I'm guessing there's no chance we
pretty
can
far making a really tight defense for them. If they could get a tight defense, maybe they'd be able to pull this out with only a minute.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually like the Sombra pick because they know that Elkhorn has been running Doomfist, right? And Sombra's counters Doomfist. He's so useless without his ability to move around with his abilities. If they can manage to hack him, get him picked off immediately, that's so much less pressure they have to deal with, and I think they'd be able to stave off the push just from that alone.
See if they can stave off this push right here. They're trying to get as far as they can with the payload, and Baraboo is going to be making a tight defense. They want a team fight right away. They want to get rid of as much time as they can off of this payload.
And there's the Doomfist pick immediately that I was talking about, and it looks like Baraboo will be able to at least hold off the initial assault. The rest of Elkhorn's going to wait and try and regroup. Again, they have plenty of time to play with compared to Baraboo, so they can afford to take their time, build up some ultimates. We'll swap to an Ashe, actually, maybe try and deal with that Sombra.
They're gonna have plenty of time to be able to try to move this, but they haven't moved it pretty much in any way, shape, or form. But on right now, they gotta get moving somehow. And right now, Elkhorn looks like they might be able to do that.
Triple kill for the Ashe, all clean headshots. You can absolutely see that just the pure mechanical skill being displayed. Trying to deal with this Sombra, so annoying to try and mess with. But it will be Elkhorn taking the first tick on this point. Not quite the Sombra contest, and she's out of here.
And now they'll be able to do so, and Elkhorn will win map number 2, and they are one map away from winning it.